welcome to another Watercolor Wednesday. We are going to give a few minutes for YouTube to let everybody know that we are now live. And, all right, some of you are popping on now. That's wonderful. Put in the chat where you are watching from. I will go ahead and grab my palette. And this is a continuation of a previous one that we did. So if you didn't see that video, it is posted for you to see. For those of you that are watching this on the replay later on, welcome. We have some fun stuff to look at today. And hello from Seattle. And hello, Artie Rossi. We are going to get started just here shortly. So if you're painting along with me, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and get out your stuff. Your paints. This is where we left off last week. But before I get there, each week we're going to be doing this at 6 p.m. PST time, that's Pacific time. And yes, my name, this guy here, is Gabriel Stockton. And put in the chat if you saw last week's video and you're here to take it on this week. Some of you asked me to go ahead and finish this one up. All right, Marie's here. And it is cold. We'll check out the live chat here. And it is cold in Montreal. How cold is it in Montreal? And Mike says good evening. And happy to have you here. I'm going to grab some brushes here. I have some Escoda brushes. We're going to get small brushes today, though. And how was your day today? Some of you saying it's cold. It's cold outside. I bet it is. We are having a couple of fires here in San Diego, sadly. But they're not as bad as LA. Oh my goodness. And all 7 of you are here. Who else is watching, sneaking in here? 14 Celsius in Montreal. Oh my goodness. And Artie Rice says, I saw it last week. And all right. Hey. I'm so glad you're here all the way from Battle Creek, Eric. All right. So just a quick recap of what we were looking at last week. We were looking at this waterfall, and we kind of compared it by building it of shapes. Mike's got snow in Florida. Oh, I heard that. Snowing in Florida? Would you ever imagine that? That's crazy. I had someone today visiting my studio saying it was snowing, and so they ran to San Diego. Well, that's where I'm at. And I'm grabbing some other brushes here. And it's some pretty wild weather we're having this year, right? There's been like lots of snow, and I don't know if some of you guys have had like some packages like delayed on you. We've had like packages delayed because of snowstorms. and such. And all right, I was having a little technical issues last week, so we started kind of awkwardly, right? But you know what? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get started. And we're just letting some other people hop on here. I'm pulling up our waterfall reference photo as I speak right now. There it is. So we were talking about this waterfall last week. Yeah, right. Artie Ross is ready to rock and roll. So we were talking about how to build this up. And right now we're kind of looking at some of this cool green stuff. And there's many ways to paint this gorgeous green stuff. We could either paint the positive shape or we could paint the negative shape. Let's look over here. Now we've got some variation of light source here. All right. And so we see where light is hitting really hard on some of these. And then we've got those lovely rocks, right? And then we've got this wonderful water. So we left off at looking at values. All right. And we talked about sketching this in. And we talked about creating not just little normal lines like this, but starting with a little circle here. And then another little circle. And another little circle. But then we turned it this way, going upward. And we did these right in here, like so. Then we did a few up in here. And then we took some nice directional line work. We're creating a sense that this water is flowing, dropping down and pooling in here, and then dropping back down, and then flowing out in this direction. We talked about how the old masters, we looked at some old master paintings, just to get some of the others on. We talked about the old masters and how they would paint, maybe with a palette knife, or with a real, this is an oil painting, and they would do these downward strokes to create those textures. And now we got strokes going like this, right? So when we're looking at water coming down, here's a lovely video of water coming down. How do we get this flowing and looking like running water, just looking so refreshing, right? Uber refreshing. And we had one other master painting because, there's always been people around water. And we got these ladies here. They're ready for the fishermen to bring into the fish, and then they got their baskets to collect the fish. And, we're always on our phones and we're seeing these wonderful things. But when you actually get out there at the right time of the day, we can capture some lovely photos. And, not just in the beautiful sunny time, but also in the colder times, right? Like now. And where's that other master? There it is. That's the one we wanted. So here's this wonderful master painting here, where we have all this lovely texture. Now, this person got to cheat, right? They got to use oil paint. And we're using watercolors, right? But we can create this beautiful look. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that light coming from behind there. Nice contrast That's a nice warm yellowy orangey color. Then it's got this lovely green, and there are some other bits and pieces of green, which you know I love having not just one tube of a color just painting straight from the tube. You know how I like to add those other colors and other textures. All right, without any further ado, I'm gonna swipe back over here to our photo reference, and we're gonna take right off from last week. Now, silly me, I was waiting for the tape to come in the mail. And speaking of mail taking its time, we got some tape now. And it's kind of a funky tape. I'm trying out this one right now. Sorry it doesn't have a brand name, but it is really a low tack tape. If you get a tape that when you pull it off and it rips your watercolor paper, you can kind of like take this to your clothes and then put it to your painting. If you didn't know that, it's a nice little hack. So where we left off last week was we created our first wash. We put down these wonderful first note colors. Now, I'll be the first to say, I actually sell more of these little smaller paintings than huge full sheet watercolors. The fun thing is I like to do, and you can try it too, when you have a successful painting, you can then paint it larger, okay? Yes, it might take a little more time, or it might take a little more materials, but the wonderful thing about it, friends, is it's pretty exciting. I have a couple of different paintings that I've painted this size, and then double this size, and now I have a painting that's a full sheet. And the fun thing is someone's come along and bought that painting every different size. Now, I change them a little bit. I add other new textures, other new colors. Maybe just get in there and find something new to work on. I'm not like a robot, all right? I'm not like just making the same picture every time. All right, so I'm gonna just be using these brushes today. The reason why, we got one more. The reason why is we've already done our first wash with our mop brush. Now, if you're new to the channel, because I've been meeting a whole bunch of you new people and you're telling me you want to join us, and you're welcome to join us. So this is my mop brush. It holds a lot more water, and it gets us those nice light colors. Now, we're gonna hop in there today because what we did, friends, in case you forgot, we just got done doing these light tones, okay? And those light tones, light values, mid-tones, are with my mop brush, okay? Now, we're hopping into these. These tones and values, this is black, and this is probably a number, 6 gray, 7, 8, 9. These I'm going to do with my other brush that likes to hold more paint. These are all by Escoda, and they are my Perla by Escoda. This one is also by Escoda. All right. So, without any further ado, you're like, come on, get on with painting. We're here to paint, right? All right, now that we're up to snuff, let's go to our next step. And really, you can go anywhere with this. I thought it would be fun if I got a number 8 here. And let's look at some of these rocks. And I know, you're like, hey, we're excited about the water. But if I can get in some of these rocks, so I have a number, I would say this tone right here is probably like a 5. And maybe I can make it just a titch darker into a number 6 in value. So now I'm not worried about making a perfect rock, like making this one the twinner. What I care about, friends, is that it reads like a rock, okay? So I'm gonna go through in here and I'm gonna build up my values, friends. So here we go like this. I'm building up. We have this white, okay, number 1 white in value. And then we have like a number 3 or a 4 with that other color on our rock. Now we've got this coming in here. There's a rock right there. I'm not painting black at this point. I work to my dark colors towards the end. All right. Now we're over here. And I'm going to add more. What I'm using here, I grabbed some goethite. And then I grabbed, what I like to do is I like to use Tiger's Eye. That's a Permatech color by Daniel Smith. And it's already a stone. Wow. Using an actual stone to paint stones. How crazy is that? All right. So here we are together painting this lovely stuff. Now, I will be putting another darker value just here shortly. And then we got this nice dark right in here. But by putting this brownish color over this blue, it's getting us to the steps of dark. Now, you can make some nice little dry brush strokes for that texture right there, and some more texture right here by using the side of my brush. See that? All right, now I'm gonna put a little more water here, but this is pretty dry. It's not running. Do you see that? I am painting on an angle. Here we are. I'm grabbing some more Tiger's Eye. This is burnt Tiger's Eye, matter of fact. Now, let's go to this other side. We're over here. There's some rocks over on this side. There is also some rocks under that water, right? Over here, we're gonna come like this, and we're gonna drop that down like so. It's starting to just give a little bit of 3D look right now, isn't it? This is gonna cut over here like that. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna now, do you see how I'm turning the brush? Kind of making like little C's or little J's right here. There we go. Like this. And then we got this stone right here. We moved the stone. If you forgot, we moved our stone. And I'm gonna grab some of this, mix this in here. This is a lighter color right in there. And I'm gonna put that lighter color texture rolling down this way. And then we got this other texture right in here. And then we got this lovely thing. And I'm gonna drop some more of this burnt. So I need this kind of opaque, just a tad. And then now this gets dark right here, a nice little dark. And it's actually a reflection of the stone going. I don't know if there's anybody here that does stretching or yoga. Any yoga people here? We're doing a downward dog, I think it's called, or something. Look at this, adding it. This is Moon Glow. You know, that's my favorite. Moon Glow coming on down. We're doing this rock is underneath that water, but there's also a reflection. Look at that. Now, I can just add a little more water right in here. And I'll check the comments just here in just a moment. I'm gonna get a little darker right in there. This gets a little darker right here. Okay, this is getting darker here. Now, there we got some rocks right in there. Okay, this is gonna come up like this. This lovely guy. I'm gonna get some more Moon Glow right in here. I'm gonna get a little darker more. So you could either be painting with me or just watching, and then you go paint with the recording on your own time. Whichever works for you. But we're starting to see some cool stuff come to life, right? Last week, some of you are like, oh my goodness, so many technical problems. Is this affecting his technical painting? No. I do some bad paintings, but I think a little planning can help with that. All right, I just need a little more water in here. There we go. And then this little swoopty coming like that. I'm bringing this in like that, okay? Now, there was a nice little dark right in here. And you will find out real quick that I don't get too stuck on a photo reference. Okay, the photo reference is just that. Okay, if there's anything I'm gonna teach this whole year to you, okay, this has been like kind of like a revelation, I guess you can call it. But don't get stuck on trying to paint that just like that. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some watercolorists, and I have friends that paint like that, and that's just not this channel. I get more people saying, Gabriel, I'm painting too tight. How can I loosen up? And I'm spending more time with more students one-on-one, loosening them up. And because everything is all in focus, everything is all just hard everywhere. But if you've had an opportunity to come to my studio, now you'll see some of my paintings, well, actually, most of my paintings, they have a feel of like it feels like a photograph, but in reality, it's really a thing called abstraction. And if there's anything I want to teach you more and more is not to be a copycat. I just want to teach you how to make beautiful paintings. If you like photography, you probably should just do photography. Now, I know many of you that are here have done photography. I know several of you that are here today that you do take some amazing photos. There's some of you here today taking photos of me. And there, I'm like, whoa, you are a photographer. So, but I feel a lot of photographers are moving over to the watercolor realm because they like the challenges. Okay. Now, do you notice I'm leaving my whites? This is a transparent medium, so that blue that I am painting over is still coming through this nice darker color. Okay, so I think when I'm looking at a master painting at I don't know, maybe you do this too. Let me know in the comments. When you go to a museum, do you look at the painting and go, how did they do that? How did they do that? And you get really close. I mean, so close that security comes over and says, sorry, you're just a little too close. And you look over at them like, how could you tell me I'm too close? Did you not look at this painting? Did you not see how cool this painting is right here? What do you mean I can't get too close? Well, they're just doing their job. It's nothing personal. They are just doing their job. And sadly, you got these weirdos that are like gluing themselves and throwing tomato sauce on a painting, and yeah, whatever. That's not us, right? We're looking at the painting going, oh, I want to be able to do that, right? And I know you guys are laughing at me because you do it too. I know. Okay, now I've used a lot of moon glow, but some of you also know my other favorite color, and that is Sleeping Beauty turquoise. And it's over here. I'm gonna add it into that purple. Look at that. Oh my goodness. If that was like candy, I would eat that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So that's Sleeping Beauty dropped in to our friend Moon Glow. And now I'm gonna add some of that bluish in here. Now, it's so debatable. Is turquoise green or blue? Put in the chat. What do you think? Is turquoise green or blue? I'm just kind of curious. It's a debate. Nobody's going to say anything wrong. I'm not going to go, But I'm going to do one other thing. Green Appetite. Oh my goodness. This right here is Green Appetite dried on my palette. Look how scrumptious that is. Oh my goodness. I'm going to drop that in here. Whoa. I went a little overboard. That's okay. Watercolor is actually forgiving. What? I've never heard that. Well, you'll hear that here. So now we're putting in some of this green apatite. Why am I putting green right here? What a crazy madman. It's because, friends, this is closer to us and we're starting to see down into the water. And now, guess what? I'm gonna get a little bit of yellow. This is yellow ochre, and I'm gonna put it now down in here. This is the stuff that's under the water. You're like, what are you talking about? See that right there? See that? I just put it over here. We have a license to art, okay? We have a license to art. And now we put that there. And now, I'm gonna grab a little bit of gouache, put that in here. And then I'm gonna finish off this little corner. A little more white gouache. If you don't have white gouache, but you have some good old watercolor white, you can use that as well. I am giving you an opportunity to add some gouache into your painting. If you're new to that, it's okay. Here on this channel, we're going to use all of Daniel Smith's really cool stuff that they're using. All right, there's a little bit of texture on this rock over here. See that? Now, we're getting close. So, what I'm gonna do now is drop down to this number 6 perla. Now, this number 8's got a good point to it. But do you see how this brush is got just a little less hairs? Less brush hair? All right, so now we're back over to the moon glow. Am I worried if it has a little green in it from this green? Oh my goodness. Did you know that? Did you know this? Moon glow has green in it. You know I like to pull this out and look at it. So this is the Daniel Smith newest catalog. You can go get one at your store. And where's Moon Glow on here? Moon Glow. Moon Glow, where are you? Shadow Violet is next to Moon Glow. Moon Glow has PG-18. PG-18? What movie is that? No, it's Pigment Green. And then we got PB-29, which is Ultramarine Blue. Look at that, Ultramarine Blue over here. PB-29. You're like, wait, I have Ultramarine Blue. Yeah, guess what? And then PR 170 or 177. Guess what? That's Pigment Red 77. Where is Pigment Red 77 on here? Bum bum bum. Coming on over here. Let's go over here. Pigment 77. PR. Oh, there it is. In Anthem Red. See that? Do you have In Anthem Red? Do you have Ultramarine Blue? Now, there was one other color. Pigment Green 18. It's not chromium green oxide, because that's Pigment G, or Pigment Green 17. My tongue is getting in the way of me talking today. It's not Phthalo Green, BS. What? Phthalo green blue shade. There's a phthalo green yellow shade. All right. There's phthalo yellow green. And where is this green? It's on here. It's on here. Oh, oh. Pigment G. It's not cobalt green. Oh, Viridian. Yes, I already knew this. So if you, I'm just being silly. I'm sorry. Viridian. If you have Viridian, if you have ultramarine blue, and if you have our, oh, where'd he go? Goodness gracious. Enanthem red. If you have those three colors, you can make your own moon glow. Now, this is just like a recipe. You know, like when you look at the cereal box for the ingredients, and it says, first ingredient, sugar. Okay. Sugar should never be the first ingredient, all right? Your cereal, first ingredient, it's going to say wheat, flour, and then hopefully it says some other vitamins before sugar, right? Oh my goodness. So the moon glow first starts out with our Viridian green, okay? So you would take a puddle of green Viridian, and then you would get PB29, ultramarine. You'd add the ultramarine blue to your puddle of green, and then just a little pinch of our enanthem red because it's last on our list here. Just like a recipe. It has the main ingredient, all right? And then it has the other little ingredients. All right. Was that helpful? I don't know. I'm having people tell me that they are professional, longtime painters, and they're going, I would never have put that paint on that dirty palette. And I go, well, you must not know what this color is made of, because that purple has green in it. Jeez. I didn't know that either. They didn't teach me that in art school. I have learned so much by becoming a Daniel Smith brand ambassador that I am part of a wonderful group of folks that love this medium so much. It's amazing to be a part of this group. And now here we are together painting and learning nerd stuff together. Good times. I hope things I share with you are helpful. I know when we get some knowledge on some things, we can be even more effective for the kingdom. Sorry, the world. We can be really good artists and stewards of our craft. Check this out. Did you know I could turn this round into a cool flat brush? So I have people going, why don't you paint with rounds? Because I could do this. Bum, bum, bum. See that? Sorry for the dirty fingernail. Oh my goodness. I'm so embarrassed. I was working on some other stuff today that I got dirt on my thumb. Anyway, I'm gonna make a nice little texture right here. There's some little broken bits in here, and by now squeezing that like this, Now I could do some of those. Isn't that crazy? Did you just ruin the tip of your brush, Gabriel? No. You know, I have to come up with all these funny little voices because none of you are here to talk with me. Well, that's coming along kind of nice. And guess what? This thing is back to its shape after I put it in water. Okay? Did you know if you want to wash a brush, you can get a little bit of soap and just go like this in your hand. And then rinse it out. And, of course, clean your hand. And then go like this again until it's nice and clean. And then when you're done, you can take your, and this is even more effective with a bigger brush. I can go like this. And now bring that to a nice point. What you don't want to do is twist this, okay? And you don't want to stick this in your mouth, okay? Let's keep you safe. If I just go like this, okay? You can do this, though. You can massage the tip like that. All right. Now, someday, you'll have one of these perlas. Like, not a number 10, but a number 8 or something. And you can kind of beat it up and do some cool stuff like this, okay? Be patient. You'll get there. You'll have a brush like this soon. But just for the time being, I'm going to go back to my number 8. And we're going to look at some of this vegetation. Like what we were talking about earlier. So, I've already got some green here. But I can get some more yellow and add it to there. I could bring that here now. Instead of keep adding more and more yellow over here, like we used to do with acrylics, back in the old acrylic painting days. And you had a big giant puddle and then you didn't use any of it. We bring some of that over here. Now I add some yellow to that one. Okay. And yellow green. Can someone put in the chat, what is the complementary color to yellow green? It's not red. Dun, 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 it's not purple. It's a cool red color. Like our little friend, Alimson Crimson. Or what I have is Rose of Ultramarine. See that? And I'm going to add a little more yellow back to that. And I'm making this wonderful value. Okay? We got a light value of green already down here. This value is darker. Okay? Now, I got some greenish stuff going here. So, right about in here, there's some light hitting. And there's some other light hitting here. Okay? And right in here, I've got some other light here. I've got some light hitting over here. And now I need green. This green is a stronger value than this yellow green. Now, I can get in here and get in some of this other green underneath here. Now, when you're making these shapes, what I'm going for is the characteristic of the thing, okay? Now I'm adding into the moon glow, a darker value, now a little more moon glow in here. Now we got a even darker value. I gotta leave this little white right here. There's a darker value there. There's a shadow under that rock. Okay. Now we've got even darker value here. Now I'm gonna paint a negative shape with a positive attitude. Here we go. Negative shape. Negative shape. You're gonna see a leaf here in a minute. A negative shape. There, I'm leaving those whites. Gotta leave those whites in there. Here we go. Some of this green stuff. Leaving that white. Gotta leave in those lovely whites. This is a darker green. Are you catching my drift? Are you getting what I'm putting down? Are you smelling what I'm cooking? Being silly, but you gotta have some silly, fun moments. It's no fun just being the same old, nagging, boring person we were in our jobs that we didn't enjoy, right? Remember, you know what I'm talking about. You had that job that you were just like, I wish I can just do anything but this. And I hope painting does bring you some joy. Of course, there's gotta be those one paintings that's going to... I'm using... I knocked down the chroma, the color, and by adding some lavender to the green. Now, these things I'm making, these strokes I'm putting down, friends, these are like suggested, like, oh my goodness, an hour has already gone. I did start a little late, so I apologize. I was making the switch over to the technologies for today's show. So I'll keep going another 10 minutes because I think we could actually finish this one today. Now, I left this little part right here, and I'm gonna come back, but I'm moving over to this gray stuff here. We've got to leave those whites. Negative painting, back again. So anyways, there's something else I want to talk about in 2025, and I don't mean to offend, but please, if you didn't like the negative person we were when we were doing something we didn't enjoy or we were burnt out with, why bring that into your painting practice? Be kind. Rewind. Some of you are old enough to know what that means. Be kind and rewind. And when you got a video, it was a VHS, you would rewind the video before returning it. I added some of that lavender to make some of these fun other grays. Here's a real kicker. If you're constantly just being negative around your painting, the painting gets worse. Oh my goodness. Why? Well, a few things. The painting will get worse because when we're being negative, there's harsh things coming out of our mouths, and you're breathing that over your painting. And that's just no fun. Look at this. I can now use the gouache for the good reason of having an opaque. And now I can put some opaque stuff over the watercolor. Look at that. And there is a leaf coming this way over that. There is a leaf coming over here and back that way. Now, I've got this transparent pyro orange over here. This is a game changer. Now there's pyro orange, which I love and adore, but the transparent pyro orange is just another different ball game. But here's the thing, I am ready to share this one with you. I'm gonna get the gouache, and I can make this really cool, it's almost like orange sickle. So if you don't have a orangey color, that's fine. You can get something similar. Permanent orange, and then add some Chinese white. But what I want is a little bit of jazz of goodness in this foreground. A little bit of jazz hands. Remember jazz hands? Woo! Hey, all 14 of you and all 11 thumbs up, right on. That tells me you're having fun. Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of orange this time. Just a little, put it over here. Oh, there's already some over there. Oh, you guys didn't tell me I'm off camera. My bad. Got a little bit of orange here. We don't even need the... Now, I'm gonna put a really good amount of the gouache into the orange. Now it's really creamsicle-y. And I'm gonna take a little bit, you know, if you've been here, I like this color. It's Queen Gold Deep, and I'm gonna add that in there. I'm working on these rocks, and I want to add this Queen Gold Deep so that it just made that wonderful white. This is not white of the paper, but it is white now because of the darker color. Say what? Now I'm making that little mixture down along into the water because our rocks are under the water. Yes. I've had some fun new experiences. Do you guys mind if I share personal stuff on this channel? Because I was a fan of the chicken soup books. Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. There are all these wonderful, wonderful stories. Well, I don't know what it is, but my higher power has given me a wonderful new season to have empathy for a certain group of people right now that I am kind of seeing more often in my current walk. And I'll tell you what, when you start to experience empathy, other beautiful things start to happen, like seeing the world much prettier and seeing things happen, like supernatural, cool stuff that, okay, yes, I might be a sensitive guy, but I'll tell you what, I believe in a higher power that is getting me to see some things that I normally don't give time to appreciate and be grateful for. And I'm so grateful for my health right now. I'll tell you what, some of you know I lost my wonderful sister, and she's so amazing. Some of you were here when I did the painting for my sister who passed. And it was hard. It was really hard. But now I'm taking better care of my health. You guys might not even recognize me. My face is so skinny now. I dropped 30 pounds. And I changed some things in my diet. But I'll tell you what, I have experienced more enlightenment by not drinking alcohol since December 20th. Of course, you know, people like a good glass of wine here and there, right? I haven't had any of that. So what is that? That's over a month. And I'll tell you what, I am now experiencing other things that I normally wasn't. And we can all grow and become better people, hopefully. And then there's sometimes that there's things that maybe might be a lie or something that we are buying into. So just be careful, friends. If there's something you're telling yourself out there, you need to ask yourself if it really is true or not. Because there were some things, like for instance, I thought kombucha was making my stomach feel better, and in all reality, kombucha has a lot of calories, and that put a lot of weight on me. Now, I'm not harping on anyone that eats a certain way or drinks whatever. Each is to your own, but really, when it comes down to it, you just have to test and measure. And of course, all things in moderation. I'm done preaching. I'm not preaching, I'm just sharing my own experiences. But I'm putting in now just a little noise in this water here. And this is what I like to do. We're going to wrap this up. All 14 of you that are still here. Of course, we all love this part. Now, of course, this will get a mat around it. And I'm going to show you something I haven't done in a really long stinking time. Are you ready for it? Yeah, 2 months sober. My new happy hour is watercolor painting. That's wonderful, Mike. And Kat's here. Hello, Kat. So good to see you. And hello, And, oh, that's wonderful. What was the light color on the rocks? The light color, Art Rossi, was, I did a mixture of an orange color. So some kind of orange color. I used the Pyro Transparent Orange by Daniel Smith. And I added some gouache. And by adding that orangey color right there, made that white edge. See right here, this is kind of blown out. Remember this was a video and we did a screenshot I was talking about last week. If you didn't see the video last week, I had shown how I video an area and then I will pause it, rewind to where I want it, and take a screenshot. Pretty cool stuff. All right, drum roll for the next little doohickey we're about to do. Doohickey. What are all these silly words I'm coming up with today? Too funny. So we got this, we got this guy. He's a little too light. But we're going to wrap it up with this last little thing. I'm just looking for a... That one's too light, too. And my pen is in the other room. But I know I have so many wonderful art supplies. The one I'm looking for is going to be right here. Oh, you know what? It's right under my nose. Goodness gracious. So we got this pen. This pen does this thickness. That's a lot better. And then we got this Tombow. Like that. Okay. So this, these are almost about the same thickness. What kind of pen is this? This is a Uniball Air. And this is the problem with us artists is we're like, what's that? What are you using? You know, be honest. Don't throw everything away because you might use it someday. All right. Here's the best part. And we're going to make this kind of unique. Just a little bit more unique than your average bear. This holds brushes, but I can use it as a really fun ruler. I'm going to bring that right up to this edge, like this. And I'm going to go just like that. All right. Now, I'll flip it around. And we're going to do it right over here. Bum, bum, bum. Like that. Now, we're going to bring this one right like so. Bum, bum, bum. And one right here. And this is something I kind of do for Christmas cards. And we're going to go like that. And I'm going to go like this. And now I'm going to go over here. And now I'm going to go right here. And maybe a third one. But make it interesting. Make it fun and unique. Now, I'm going to be throwing some of these little silly things at you every now and then. But yes, of course, I like traditional watercolor. But look at this. And I can make this little thing here. And then maybe a little circle there. And these little things flaring out like this. And maybe some fun stuff like this. Like, what's that? Like, Oh, I'm thinking of the glass. But each corner gets something fun and unique. This one I like. It's kind of cool and artsy. And this one, I can come like this. And then guess what? Now I can go like this and put my name right here. GabrielStockton. It helps me spell my own name. And there we go. There you have it. We have a fun piece here. You can do something like this. People really enjoy getting something like this. And it makes up for all those fun little sloppy edges. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to end right there. If you are just now watching this video as it's been posted and you didn't make it live with us, come join us every Wednesday for Watercolor Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I know all 15 of you and all 5 or 12 thumbs ups are watching. You know already, but this is going to be posted. And hey, thanks Artie Rossi for saying, I love it, Gabriel. And until next time, we will be back for another watercolor next Wednesday. And try this one. And I would like to see it. You can email yours to me at info@GabrielStocktonFineArt.com. That's my email. Again, that's Gabriel Stockton, my name. Oh, sorry, that's my website. It's info@GabrielStocktonFineArt.com, which my website is GabrielStocktonFineArt.com. All right, I digress. Have a wonderful week. Try this painting out. Watch last week's and paint with it, pause it, and so forth. But there actually is one thing that's bugging me. This one shape almost looks like a bean. So hold on. Hold your horses. This is gonna come here with some texture. There we go. And little moon glow. And this actually comes like this. That's... Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Boom. All right, we're done. Thanks again for joining me. And I will see you next week. Keep those brushes wet. Marie, you are welcome. Thank you for saying thank you, Marie. And looking forward to a class this weekend. That's wonderful. Oh, yeah, you're in my class? Cool. It must be over in Fallbrook. And have a great week from Mike. And thanks, Gabriel. I've got a great watercolor painting now. That's wonderful. And Kat, I'll be back next week with a big heart. And thank you so much. I'm looking through the comments right here. 7 inches of snow, Lisa said. Oh my goodness. Mike says had snow. Oh yeah, snow in Florida and Georgia. Well, where like Florida and Georgia come together, there was a lot of snow. Wow. All right, Mike, I dig it too. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Be blessed, my friends. And go get your supplies over at Cheap Joe's. Art stuff. They want you to be an artist. All right, take care. Bye now.